right, welcome on in. Bright and early. We're recording this early, though. I don't know when this will be out, but this is the Oscars, the 98th Academy Awards nominations reaction from the boys over here at Project Big Screen. Jeff D. Lowe, Kenjac, Gooch. We're gonna go through every award, just kind of give some thoughts. We'll give some thoughts if you would like to place a wager potentially on DraftKings. We'll kind of give more thoughts throughout our normal podcast leading up to the Oscars, and then we'll do an Oscars betting show as well beforehand. Though I will say, I don't love. It's not. There's some years you go and you're like, oh, there's gonna be some fun bets to be had here. Not as much this year. There are a lot of locks, but let's go right through it. Let's start out. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's talk about kind of the big takeaways from the Oscar nomination. I think the biggest one is Sinners. Sinners shattered the record for most nominations. I sent a couple texts last night to the group late because I was kind of reading through where the favorites have been according to like Gold Derby, Awards Expert, which I kind of like Awards Expert a little more now. There's a couple things that stuck out, and it was Sinners and I almost said La La Land. Sinners and One Battle After Another had a chance at tying Titanic, La La Land, and All About Eve at 14 nominations. One Battle didn't get there, and the reason it didn't get there is actually a surprise. It had a snub, but Sinners not only gets to 14, it gets to 15. It got visual effects, which a lot of people did not think it would get, and then it gets a stunner with Delroy Lindo getting a Best Supporting Actor nomination. So it gets 16. It's also one of those ones where it kind of should probably have 17 because the sound category combined a few years ago, but they did add a new award this year. They added casting. So technically it's kind of back on the level playing field as Titanic, as La La Land. But 16 is pretty crazy. And then I think the other I think probably two big ones would be one, congrats to Gooch, Wicked, shut out. Shut out. I was wrong. Though granted, the last couple of weeks, I think I'd been kind of saying more and more. It's clear it was not going to get a nomination. I thought it would.
I am still like I said it would underperform. Kind of like box office, I thought it would underperform. It did underperform here, but I didn't think it would underperform this hard. Like
I think it would get best original song.
No song. Ariana Grande getting shut out. That's insane.
Grande would have been surprising probably like a week and a half ago. It became pretty clear in the last 48 hours she wasn't getting an Oscar nomination. She fell off. Now, who got it surprised me a little bit. People had seemed to think it was going to be Odessa Azione, but Elle Fanning swooped in. Though at the same time, it's like Elle Fanning has been kind of getting everything the last couple of years, so not a huge shock. But both of the big block, but we had a huge debate going back and forth about Avatar, Wicked. Didn't matter. Neither got a Best Picture nomination. It ended up being Evelyn. Shout out to great friend of Barstool, Justin Kroll, who tweeted at me when we had that argument about Wicked, Avatar, and he was like, don't rule out F1. And last night, looking at the odds, F1 seemed pretty clear, like it had a real chance. It had a late surge, and sure enough, Deadline Zone, Justin Kroll nailed it. F1 gets a nomination.
I wonder how much Apple pushed that too. They must have put a lot of money into that campaign, and understandably so. All the technicals on it are insane.
I just filmed and I'm releasing on our YouTube, my top 30 of the year, and I mentioned it. I've said it on our show before too. You know what I think definitely helped it too? They kept that shit in theaters for so long. They released the physical copy before ever putting it on Apple TV Plus. Like I had the 4K months before it ever hit out. I think there was a clear like vision with that movie. And another thing too, I don't know how many top 30 or top 20 or top 10s you guys have watched. F1 is in a lot of people's top 2 or 3 on the year. People love that movie.
It's good. It's a good movie too. Well deserved.
It's a good movie. And do you think there's a takeaway here on like Wicked sequel, Avatar sequel, F1, the original movie here? Do you think there is like
I think that's great. That's a great point. I'm glad you said that. I think that is like, that's a pretty, obviously, like I'm sure someone could argue, be like, oh, it's based off of race, but like, no, it's like, that is a great point. That's why I'm like super pumped it got it. Because I remember when We then had a follow-up the week after debating Avatar, Wicked, and I mentioned what Kroll said, and I remember saying, I was like, fucking F1 gets it. That's a win. Like
That's a good in between for
if
both of us too. I think all three
Yeah.
of us, like whatever our opinions are, we're all like, yeah, F1. You know what? Probably better
because
than
I do
everyone.
think and I think a larger point which we agreed on. I do think a blockbuster. I think every year at least one big blockbuster movie should get a nomination. I just think that's how the game works. I think like a Top Gun should get it. Like I think Spider-Man No Way Home should have got one like a few years ago when it hit all those milestones, all did that. Did it deserve it? Probably not. But it's one of those ones where like I think every year one movie, instead of making some stupid cinematic achievement award or popular film, like I think one movie should qualify to drop in there because of impact or like how much people like it. And I'm glad that of the options this year, that's the one that got in because it looked unbelievable. The way they invented cameras and rigs to shoot the movie, they kept it in theaters. They released the physical before putting it on their streaming platform. All great reasons for it to be nominated. Truly,
I do think like it's almost like an acknowledgement more than a nomination, which I think is also good because it is these movies are insanely important to keeping movies alive. At the same time, like if I could knock off something like F1 and add in something like No Other Choice, I'd probably do that. But
I would just knock out Frankenstein.
Yeah, or I could knock out Frankenstein for sure. Frankenstein would be the first one
I
on
would
top
say
block.
the funny thing about like Wicked not being nominated, Avatar not being nominated, now the movie that sticks out to me that it's like you don't belong here is Frankenstein. Though I'll acknowledge that some people do truly like it, and I like Del Toro. That movie just didn't compared to the rest of this list.
Just Del Toro.
And I won't say Hamnet because I know I'm in the minority on how I feel about Hamnet. So I won't mention Hamnet. I know people love Hamnet, so I won't even mention. But Frankenstein for me is like, yeah. So Best Picture, we'll run through Best Picture. I'll try to go alphabetically here as opposed to what the odds were. Begonia gets a nomination. That kind of slowly crept up. F1, Frankenstein. Netflix pushed very hard for it. Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Also, by the way, I think the third big story was Kate Hudson. We'll get to that in a second. So yeah, those are the 10. The one that gets kind of lopped off, and this I wouldn't say is the big story, but I think for us, for like real film heads, real Criterion Closet boys, it was just an accident.
Yeah.
It got shut out of almost everything. It got an international nomination. It got original screenplay, which I think original screenplay was kind of the big nod. But Javar Panahi is going to jail when he goes back to Iran for this movie. He made this movie in secret after being jailed for something previously related to defending filmmakers who were jailed. I'm not saying it should be nominated because of that. It's also a really good movie, and we'll review it in a few weeks leading up to the Oscars. But if this is one of those times where I'm like, you know what? If you get a nomination because of a thing, I'm okay with it. this would have been the one where I'm like, I'm good with it. But it got burned for Best Picture at the end of the day because it was the one that was looking last night least likely to get nominated out of the 10.
Which is crazy because it did hit every indicator that has suggested it would be in this field. That can best, I do think the can win was a little bit of a misdirection because if I remember right, wasn't that Cannes festival was weird, wasn't it? Like the voting body had some weird behind the scenes fight. I think that, and it was just an accident.
I don't remember that, but that's interesting. That's an interesting wrinkle to bring that in.
It was either Cannes or Venice. I cannot remember which one. It's the one that Benny Safdie ended up winning Best Director at for Smashing Machine, and there was like a fight behind the scenes. So I wonder if that's what played into it because, winning Best Picture at Cannes has been like a lock in these recent years to sneak into the Best Picture category.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish it got in. I wish no other choice got in, but I am not against.
Good
what? Though. Yeah, what got added. Like at the end of the day, we do want people to watch this show and be exposed to movies they may not have been exposed to before, and Frankenstein getting a bunch of other noms doesn't really matter if it doesn't get the Best Picture nom. People are going to tune in because it got a Best Picture nom. People are going to tune in because F1 got a Best Picture nom. This is the category that really matters.
I do think I very much love the one thing on here. Obviously not a big fan of Frankenstein. Even like some of the other ones, like the F1 more of it being, again, acknowledgement than a nomination. But Train Dreams, man, we fucking loved Train Dreams. Netflix threw every dime, every fucking second of airtime they had behind Frankenstein and their less acknowledged son. The Faramir of movies, Train Dreams, comes in and seals the fucking day and Best Picture nom. And people love it, man. I love that people love Train Dreams because it's a fucking weird, strange Terrence Malick movie that shouldn't really resonate with a lot of regular people, and it does. And I love that got the nom here.
I mean, kind of hovering around like 12th and 11th for odds in the last couple of weeks, and it kind of moved up, and it kind of moved up, and then it snuck into the top 10, and it looked like, I'm sure Netflix also realized like what they had to. They're like, oh shit, like we should probably push this movie harder and harder. And so yeah, it does get in there. So right now, we won't do this for every award, but I want to mention it because it's worth mentioning. One battle after another is the heavy favorite to win Best Picture. Shout out to our guy at awards.substack.com, Walt Hickey. He has his algorithm. He kind of shows like all the movies and what they've won and what matters and how they stack up. One battle has cleaned up at local awards, like everything, like literally everything. And that is what is really, really pushing it ahead right now. If you're betting on a movie, I would have said Hamnet and Sinners. I'm now going to drop Hamnet off because Hamnet got shut out of a bunch of categories that you thought you might have seen Hamnet. We'll say what those are in a few minutes when we run through everything else. I would not rule out Sinners yet, and I know Sinners right now on DraftKings is it's plus 1,000, so it's a long shot, but 16 nominations, and nominations don't mean everything. The Joker got like 13 nominations, won 2 awards. Nominations don't mean everything, but there's a couple indicators I saw this morning. Delroy Lindo getting a nomination, Chase Infinity not getting a nomination. Like, you just don't know. And here's the big reason, is because the Best Picture voting pool is different than literally every other way Best Picture is voted for at every other award show. It is a ginormous voting body, and it's getting younger and younger and younger. And Sinners does seem to resonate with people. One Battle does as well. But keep an eye in the next week or two, because Kenjac, we talked about this years ago. If you remember the award shows after the Oscar nominations, there was a way people talked about Parasite that just made you go, maybe it'll win. Maybe it'll beat 1917. Right? Maybe it's going to sneak in there. And slowly but surely, you could just tell that like the sentiment from everyone talking about it was so high. Like, damn. Sinners, like that, people just maybe that's how people are going to talk about Sinners. The one thing that I do think could stop that is that it's ranked choice. So you go 1 through 10, whatever. I don't think many people who love Sinners are going to have One Battle that far down the list either, though. Like I think that's one thing. We're like Parasite 1917. I think 1917 was good, but I could have seen a lot of people putting 1917 below Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and other movies. Where I think a lot of people are going to have One Battle and Sinners 1, 2. So we'll see. I wouldn't rule it out yet. It's the heavy underdog, but I wouldn't rule it out.
In the audience today, this morning, on that broadcast, as Danielle Brooks and Louis Pullman speak to the crowd, who is the crowd? Are those Academy Award voters? Because I do think there are takeaways to be had by their reactions. I do think, because
I don't know if it's a ticketed event, if it's like a local ticketed event. I don't know.
Because if it's voters, like, they clap for everything. They were really clapping hard for Sinners, like at every single turn, which maybe that speaks to like, we don't know how strong Sinners is actually playing to this voting body, like this specific body.
There's a longer, like we have time now. Like here's the thing. It's, it's like, not like they have to go vote today, like they now vote. And with the momentum and with the sentiment around it, we'll see. Yeah.
I do think
Best Picture. We won't hang on the rest of these too long. We're not going to be here for like 2 hours. But I think Best Picture is the one.
Hey, I want to throw it out the note that I do think that the Academy, by nominating Sinners this much, is setting themselves up for an all-world ass beating online, because they might win a handful of them, and when that happens, and like online is just like all they read is nominated 16 times. Wins 5 and they're mostly technical, they're gonna flip their shit.
It is gonna be the favorite for probably only 3 of the awards it's nominated for.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad 4. Business.
Cinematography, screenplay, which it might not be favorite. I could see sentimental value being the favorite, but we'll just say for the sake of conversation, it's the favorite. Score, which it will win. It's gonna win score. And then maybe casting. Right now, it's the favorite for casting on DraftKings. So that's 4. So it may win only 3 or 4 of the 16, which is crazy to say.
And by the way,
that's just that's the race this year. It's crazy between that and one battle.
A movie that people like, I'd say a lot of film heads mostly love. It was not expected to get anything really, but Eddington got zilch too, and like that's a movie I thought a lot of people would at least like be not shocked by, but like they'd be like, well, why didn't Eddington get a little bit of a nod? But yeah, nothing there.
Yeah, Astrid, he doesn't
not
resonate,
like
I guess. With
it also
it's a bummer.
It made I think like $10 million at the box office. Like people really didn't see that.
Guess
movie.
what Frankenstein made? Absolutely not.
Actually, might have made more because it did play in a few theaters. Crazy. Also,
I would
back
take
to sentimental value.
Yeah.
Is sentimental value also just way stronger than we realized? 9 nominations. That's a lot.
That is a lot of nominations. Elle Fanning sneaks in, which again, last night it seemed like Odessa Ezion was the favorite among experts to replace Grande because she was number 5 and Elle Fanning I think was 7 when I last checked. And I remember saying, I was like, I don't know, like if you told me to bet on one of them, like I think I'd have to bet on Elle Fanning. She just seems to have that juice. But yeah, no, sentimental value is, I mean, Trier is a fucking wagon. He is going to eventually win, and I think he's going to win more. And that same goes with Renata Reinsve. The Academy, by the way, the end of the calendar year Academy voting pool in 2015 was around 6,000. 2020 it was around 9,000, and now it's creeping up to around 11. I think 10.5, 11,000. So it's just it's unlike anything anywhere in terms of voting. So we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be very interesting. Directing had no surprises in terms of what people thought would be the favorite going in. Now that changed in the last couple days. There was a pretty heavy assumption that Jafar Panahi was going to get the 5th nomination for It Was Just an Accident. He does not. Josh Safdie gets it, which for a while was like Safdie was not even like considered to be a possibility, which is bizarre to me because the movie's cleaning up everywhere else. But it's Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. No shocks there. I think it's, again, I don't love Hamnet, but for me at this point, like, I'm not going to go on a crusade about how much I don't like Hamnet because I know a lot of people that like it. So I'm good with all 5 of those. Like, I don't really, again, bummer with Panahi though. It's like a huge, like kind of shocked he just ended up not getting it, but I'm happy Safdie did.
Yeah. I mean, this is also like one of the biggest locks of the night. The biggest, wouldn't you say? For PTA.
Yeah.
This is everyone is going to be playing for second. So it's almost moot, but
yeah. This is going to be PTA's coronation, which I think is well deserved. And I think even I'm going to be like, you give me one horse to root for here. I'm going to root for Sinners, my top movie of the year, but I don't think I'd root for Coogler here. Like, Coogler's going to have his time. Like, this should be PTA's. I think he should win this, and I think it's pretty clear, like Gooch said, he's going to.
Yeah. I also think
and
Testament of Ann Lee, if it had released, I was going to say Testament of Ann Lee, we're going to talk about it this weekend, but if that had released, I think like a month ago, 2 months ago.
Terrible release schedule.
Like, I'm looking at the Mona Vastvold was 20th in odds coming in. Like, she should have been right on the bubble, in the mix.
And I just I don't understand, like, maybe they didn't have it because of like how much Brutus was pushed last year. I don't know what it was. The marketing budget, something like. We'll talk about it on our podcast this week. I love Testament of Ann Lee. It's the least me movie of all time. It's a fucking religious period movie. Like, I almost didn't want to see it. Like, I was like, ugh, and I loved it. And I don't know. Like, we'll talk more on our show, but yeah, it's. You want to talk about a bad release window? Which, by the way, Dune 3. Move your fucking date so you win an Oscar, please. Move your date to November. I don't even care about the Avengers of it all. Just like, I think if Dune's in December, I think that's a death sentence for that movie to win an award. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Actress, a snub for me here is Seyfried, but she was never going to get a nomination. It was pretty clear. The favorites going in were Jessie Buckley, Hamnet, got it. Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, got it. Renata Reinsve for Sentimental Value, got one as well. Emma Stone for Begonia, got one as well. The 5th, it seemed like it was going to be Chase Infinity. She had really staked out her claim, and then Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue.
Let's go.
Sneaks in and gets the nomination. I don't even, man.
She's great in it.
She's really good in that movie.
She's great in the movie. Like, she really is.
And
I
she
love
is the back pain from carrying old Hugh Jackman in that movie too. Oh my God. She carries Hugh in that movie.
I wish she would carry me in her arms wearing those mom jeans. Good Lord.
I'm bummed for Infinity though, because I think One Battle was an acting just masterclass, and I think Chase Infinity was fucking fantastic. So I'm bummed she didn't get it.
And it's a little strange that, I mean, I don't know the odds, but Tiana Taylor getting it over Chase Infinity, where Chase Infinity I feel is just so much more vital to the movie and performance wise. Like, she just is asked to do a lot more.
So yeah, Jessie Buckley, the heavy favorite. She's going to win that. The only thing that can maybe happen would be a Rose Byrne late surge, but that's kind of like, that would be almost like not even, I can't even say Olivia Colman, Glenn Close, because Olivia Colman had a real chance. So that's basically Jessie Buckley's award. Actor in a leading role. No surprises here. I thought for a minute we might get a surprise because just how things had played out. It's like, oh shit, like maybe we're gonna get something we didn't really expect here. But I just don't know who that. I think it would have been probably Jesse Plemons, if anyone.
Yeah.
He made maybe kind of a late surge, but it ended up being not Benicio del Toro. Mari Supreme, Timothy Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle, Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, Wagner Moura, Secret Agent. Very much Timothy Chalamet is to lose unless Brazil puts in one of the all-time plays for Wagner Moura.
I mean, did you have the
chat?
YouTube chat? Yeah, did you have the YouTube chat?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's awesome. God, I love that. I love them. They're
He was
insane.
just flooded with that green ass flag and just it's fucking all over, bro. I love them. They're passionate film heads and just Brazil heads, I guess. But
this is a really, really great best actor lineup, which we don't always get. I'd say more often than not, we don't get. But this is like good movies, great big stars, and great performances across the board. With, you have your international, you have your smaller releases, you have your blockbuster releases. This is a fun category.
Supporting, one surprise there. We've already talked about it. Who that fifth one would be in the last few weeks. By the way, I don't mention Wumi Masaku from Sinners is kind of the one who shook up this field. She surged out of nowhere, very deserving. I think they probably could have gotten 2 from Sinners. Amy Madigan, Weapons, Inga Ipsdotter Lilius from Sentimental Value, Elle Fanning from Sentimental Value, and Tiana Taylor from One Battle After Another. Ariana Grande was the favorite for a while, fell all the way out. Odessa Azione seemed like she might sneak in. I would have preferred Gwyneth Paltrow from Mari Supreme. I thought Gwyneth had her best in years, but I have no problem with any of these 5. These are all 5 great ones, and we'll throw at the DraftKings right now. Plus money, Amy Madigan. I'm going to tell you what. Amy Madigan right now, if you base it on the algorithm from awards.substack, Amy Madigan technically the favorite. She won at the Critics' Choice. Obviously, the Globe went to Tiana Taylor. The Globe has been the Globe's not an indicator for anything, but it has been a little bit for supporting. So Tiana Taylor is probably rightfully the betting favorite, but I would not rule out Amy Madigan.
And that's like it's your time person.
Rule her out.
Like well liked in Hollywood. Like Klemmer was saying yesterday, or the last show we did. Like she's well liked person in Hollywood, has the connections, all that stuff. Like it's there, it's there.
Yep. She's plus money right now. I would be willing to bet by the time the Oscars rolls around, she is the betting favorite. That would be my guess, which usually is the case for one award in the acting category, which in that case, then I'd probably say just bet Tiana Taylor and take the plus money. But right now, I would lay it on Amy Madigan. I just have this hunch that she could win this award. It's the only really interesting acting race as of right now. So, those are the 5. Actor in a supporting role. One surprise on here. Benicio del Toro, One Battle After Another, as expected. Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein, as expected. Sean Penn, One Battle After Another. Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value. Then the surprise, Paul Mescal, Hamnet, not nominated, was the favorite to get a 5th nomination. Delroy Lindo for Sinners, very deserving. He's so fucking good in that movie.
Should have won for the 5 Bloods, by the way.
Nomination.
It didn't get nominated for the 5 Bloods. Should have won for the 5 Bloods.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, kind of good. That's a great point. Good redemption on that.
Yeah, that was power.
Yeah,
This
that's
one's
I
interesting
completely forgot about
because
that. That's fucking insane.
That
You
was
got-
yeah, it's
crazy.
crazy.
No
That's
nomination.
terrible.
Yeah.
Skarsgård is the favorite. Not as heavy as he probably should be. He's actually still plus money. He's even money right now. I would bet Stellan Skarsgård. Elordi won at the Critics' Choice Awards, so technically right now he has the more accolades when added up because Skarsgård didn't get a SAG nomination. That also needs to be factored in. So keep that in mind. Skarsgård is going to win this award, it seems. Elordi, I don't think is going to stun. Benicio seems to be the only one who's really kind of caught steam, but I just don't think anyone's. I think it's pretty clear Skarsgård's going to win, and honestly, he should win. Andor should be on the title card when he wins this award as well. He should get. This should be like Andor's like
The combo.
nice, like second recognition because he was fucking unbelievable in that as well.
I have a question.
I have no problem with these five either. I'm glad Delroy Lindo got. And though I will say, Miles Catton might have been the guy I picked out of Sinners too. Though he's just for the song, the performance in general. But he's gonna have his moment with the song. So that's supporting. One little surprise there.
I have a question. In these categories where it comes down to when maybe it comes down to a big studio release versus a Netflix release, do you think the voting body will in any way like try to punish any of the nominees from a Netflix produced film? Just in terms of like how the industry is reacting to all the Netflix, the Warner Brothers news right now. Like, will that affect any of the wins?
I could maybe.
You could probably
Yeah,
look at the
maybe.
data on that.
I think maybe more so the case if one of those movies or awards was a favorite, right?
Yeah.
Like I could see some bias against it. Like if it's not a favorite, it's like, does it matter? I could see that. I mean, there's definitely, again, this is like, I love the Oscars. We love the Oscars. I'm the first to admit that it's all horse shit, but like, but I mean, I think that probably plays somewhat of a factor. Screenplay, adapted screenplay, no surprises here based on favorites. Everything that people expected to get nominated got nominated. Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle, Train Dreams. I think the only thing that was even close was No Other Choice. Which No Other Choice ended up being an all-time is like
one of
an
the worst
all-time
snub
snub,
years.
like
Yeah.
crazy. Pretty big bummer there. Original screenplay. There is a surprise with original screenplay. I actually was quite stunned on this one because I thought the way I had been nominated for everything else, I thought The Secret Agent would end up getting a nomination for original screenplay, but it's Blue Moon that sneaks in. Which shout out to Blue Moon.
Yeah, good movie.
Very enjoyable movie. It was just an accident. Jafar Panahi at least gets a nomination. Not going to win it. Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, Sinners. It seems as though Sinners is the pretty heavy favorite here. That I wouldn't rule out Sentimental Value based on how much it's also getting some steam. But that could be Coogler's kind of moment at the Oscars. But yeah, Secret Agent does not get the nomination. Blue Moon sneaks in.
Hey, I love that. Anytime we can get Linklater on the board, give it to me. Also, it has a very cool story of how they started writing that movie 20 years ago, which is great. It's nuts. I think Linklater was basically like, Ethan, you're not ugly enough yet. Like you have to get older and uglier before we can turn this into a film. So they just baked it for 20 years. I kind of love that sneak.
Yeah.
International feature, we'll go to that one next. This had one surprise, though. I don't know. Surprise is probably the wrong word because, again, if you go off the way people talk about these movies, I'm not shocked. Secret Agent nomination, that made sense. It was just an accident.
Winner.
Great. Sentimental Value, which will be the favorite going into it, clearly. Then Surat, I had to watch two movies that I hadn't seen yet in the last couple weeks. It was Surat and The Voice of Hin Rajab, which ends up those are two movies that I've seen in a lot of people's top 5s, top 10s this year. I didn't love them. They're both. Hin Rajab it's a fucking nuts movie, and not in like a beautiful way. Like really, just like insane storytelling, crazy story. Will fucking rattle you. Important movie.
Better or
Definitely
worse than No Other Choice?
But No Other Choice gets bumped out of international feature, which is a fucking huge bummer, at least for the three of us. That was a bummer. I was yeah, it was disappointing.
Just stupid. Whatever, man.
Has Park
Koreans
Chan-wook
had their time.
I was gonna say, has Park Chan-wook ever really come in any of his films? And he has a lot of really fucking good ones. Have any of them come into the awards? Maybe it's just an issue with. I mean, he's really funny, like really funny in interviews, but maybe he's not campaigning that hard. I don't know.
Yeah, he was nominated or shortlisted. Never mind, for Decision to Leave. Didn't nominate. Forgot about that. And
Didn't get cinematography for Decision to Leave either, which was nuts.
Yeah, but nothing on BAFTA either. What other? Anything else?
I think he got nominated for BAFTA. I know it got a couple international things.
Oh, wait, here we go. Never mind. Yeah, BAFTA for Best Film Not in the English Language. What a way to phrase that award.
Well, internationals, like, this has always been, they don't know how to word it at all.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's got a couple.
Yeah, because what was nominated in 2023 for international at the Oscars?
23?
Yeah, I can't remember that off the top of my head.
By the way, he won 3 times at Cannes.
International feature at the Oscars. It was Zone of Interest.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Zone of Interest year. So, okay, that makes sense. Damn, what a bummer though. On No Other Choice though. Check out Surratt. Check out The Voice of Hindu Job though. I mean, Voice of Hindu Job is. Have you guys seen it?
I wouldn't hate them expanding this category into 10.
Yeah, I actually, that's a great. I love that take.
Yeah, that's a really
and fix the issue with the countries. Like, as of now, if you don't know, if you're listening, you don't know this, the countries can only submit one picture, which I think is really fucking stupid.
That's so stupid.
Because there's some countries that simply put out a lot of really great movies on an annual basis, like Korea, like France, Japan, Spain. Like, they put out multiple movies that could be considered in these categories and only get to pick one. And I think that's just dumb.
Mm-hmm. Very stupid.
Moving on. Animated feature, no surprises in that category. This is a clear favorite. K-pop Demon Hunters. Little Amelie, or the character of Rain, Zootopia 2, K-pop Demon Hunters, Elio, and Arco. All get nominations. K-pop is going to probably end up winning 2 awards. It'll be this and Song, which we'll get to in a minute. Cinematography, Sinners, One Battle, Train Dreams, Frankenstein, and then, this was a surprise, Hamnet was a favorite. Marty Supreme, though, sneaks in, which is great. Love that. Marty Supreme looked awesome. Yeah. Very deserving.
I'll tell you what didn't. Fucking Frankenstein. Good Lord.
Yeah, that was that's I honestly probably would have put Hamnet over Frankenstein.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Editing, another one for Hamnet, which kind of got dropped off. F1, that was expected. Marty Supreme, that was expected. One Battle was expected. Sinners expected. Sentimental Value gets the 5th nomination for editing, which I have no problem with any award Sentimental Value gets nominated for.
A lot of cool sequences in that too. I mean, like, if you think about like the shot where they do like the transition between the 3 faces, like, that's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
any sequence that cut.
Kind of crazy. It wasn't considered a favorite.
Yeah, all stuff in the dollhouse, like, yeah, looked great.
This award lost all meaning about 7 years ago when Bohemian Rhapsody won.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. The next 3, production, costume, and makeup. This is where, like you said, Gooch, I was really stunned Wicked didn't get nominated, because this was like the ones where, like, this is the shit.
I gotta take something here. Yeah, you know.
Whatchamacallit, this crappy Suicide Squad would get nominations, right?
Yeah.
Production design. So Wicked does not get the 5th nomination. It goes to Frankenstein, expected. Hamnet, that was expected. Marty Supreme, Sinners, and One Battle picked up an extra nomination in production. This is where I was like, oh shit, One Battle might get 14 or 15. Costume, Wicked. This is another one that got left off of. This is where Blue Boy Gooch, you get an Avatar, Fire and Ash last second, which I think that's a good call. I think the costume for Avatar, Fire and Ash. I'm with
that. You got to be deep in the game, but they do, like, the behind the scenes on how they come up with these costumes is pretty, like, they put a lot of work into.
I got no problem with that.
Yeah, but it is like, it's animated, so Like it is
Yeah, it's
animated.
weird.
It is weird.
You see, I say that as comparison to Wicked, but then I'm sure you could probably offer up to me like 10 other movies that we're not mentioning. They're probably like, yeah, that probably deserves it over
I want
Avatar.
like the clip that they show to be like, if it wins, I want the clip to be like somebody manicuring Spider's white dreadlocks, like very, very closely.
Hey, listen, at least when I get my 4K copy of Fire and Ash, it will say Academy Award nominated, like on the box,
that's right.
on the slip cover. They'll have it on there.
So Avatar Fire and Ash, according to Gold Derby, was behind Superman, Blue Moon, Nouvelle Vague, Nuremberg, Phoenician Scheme, Downton Abbey, Begonia, Kiss of the Spider Woman, Secret Agent, One Battle, Hedda, Testament of Van Lee for costume design, which honestly, that should have been a One Battle award. Just even what Leo's wearing is awesome.
Yeah.
But I have no issue with anything like technical or production with Avatar. Makeup and hairstyling. There were two movies left out of the favorites here, and this is actually where One Battle lost one, which was I feel like I'm a little surprised. Like makeup, there's a big makeup moment at the end of One Battle. Like hair is a big thing. Like Leo's hair is like almost like a part of his character. Like it's a huge part of his character. I feel like right, like the man bun, the way he puts his hair up. Frankenstein expected, Sinners expected, Smashing Machine expected. Shout out to the Rock. But then the two other ones, The Ugly Stepsister.
What?
Which?
Wait, what? What is this movie?
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I didn't see it.
I saw like 120 movies last year. What is this movie?
It's a Norwegian movie. I'd never heard of it. And then Kokahu.
So when I was in Japan, they were talking about this movie like it was fucking like we were talking about Marty Supreme. Like they were,
yeah, this one I'd heard of.
Yeah,
the other one I'd not heard of.
Yeah, and I hadn't heard of Ugly Stepsister either. But Kokaho apparently is amazing. I still have to watch that. I couldn't find it.
So yeah, those two. So that was Wicked a surprise, but also I'd almost say One Battle not getting it, because anything that One Battle was considered a favorite for that didn't get a nomination, I think is just kind of crazy. Visual effects. This was a huge pickup for Sinners in its hunt for getting the record of 16. Only 2 of the 5 movies considered favorites got nominated. F1 and Avatar. Obviously, this is Avatar, like this movie exists to win this award. F1, I think that absolutely deserves visual effects. Superman, Frankenstein, Wicked were all up there, did not get it. Sinners got one, very deserving. But bananas to me if Sinners didn't get this, by the way, because like you have 2 people. There's a guy playing 2 people.
Yeah,
that's the whole movie. Like that. Like how? Like this not getting nominated would have, I think, been as big of a crime as any award. Like the movie works because you have this incredible visual effect of 2 guys on the screen who are being played by the same person. Mm-hmm. So that's like I'm glad it got nominated. The Lost Bus gets nominated, which is a movie which I didn't dislike, but I never honestly, if you had told me I would never heard the words Lost Bus ever again the rest of my life, I probably would have believed you. Matthew McConaughey as an
another
TV
Apple
movie.
Release. Yeah, another Apple release.
Yep. Also, did you know it was produced by Jamie Lee Curtis? I didn't know that till earlier this morning.
It makes me think
there you have it. Though. That's why the Academy went for it. They fucking love JLC.
The Lost Bus.
America Ferrera as well. And then, oh boy, I mean, come on, Jurassic World Rebirth. I mean,
that's another one though that kind of does exist. It exists to win. Like
I would have picked like Superman over that. I don't know.
The dinosaurs definitely look better than like, and that's Gareth. Like the dinosaurs look good. It's just the story was not there, or acting, or anything else. It's just the visuals are good though.
Yeah, the dinosaurs. I mean, it's a universal experience. You see that big dinosaur on screen, you're like, wow. Yeah. When you see don't lie. When you saw Dolores on screen, you were like, that's the best looking dinosaur I've ever seen. I need a plushie right now.
I need 10 plushies and a Funko Pop of Dolores ASAP.
Best sound, F1 gets one. Sinners, One Battle, Frankenstein. Those are the expected. Avatar was the 5th favorite. Did not get it. Seurat gets in there for sound. Music. Best original song. I think this was the ones that Wicked didn't get. I was most shocked by this, that Ariana Grande didn't get nominated. I think the two that, by the way, I do hope they have them perform all these because, well, except for one, we're gonna get. I think Golden will be a big part of the show. Golden was, by the way, the biggest cheer the entire nominations this morning.
They did.
I
what
Lied to You
halftime show
from
did they do?
Sinners,
What did they
which
do? Like,
I
sorry, did
say
they
it
do
again?
like they did like halftime show of one of the Christmas games, right? The Golden.
Yeah, they did
or-
halftime show of the Lions Christmas game.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, that'll be cool.
I was kind of surprised that if you would have told me Ariana Grande didn't get the 5th nomination, I would have said, "Oh, the Soda Pop song snuck in from K-pop Demon Hunters." It actually did not, so I was actually kind of surprised by that. So it was "I Lied to You" from Sinners. So you're going to get Raphael Sadiq, Ludwig Göransson, and Miles Cannon performing that song, which that's the music montage song from Sinners. Golden, K-pop Demon Hunters. Train Dreams from Train Dreams, which my only complaint on that is, like, can we get a better title than Train Dreams from Train Dreams? like whatever. Then a song, Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verde, which I don't actually know what that is.
I'm gonna go listen to it once we're done with this. Better be a
So
banger.
we'll look it up. But then the only one that matters here, it's a documentary. The only one that matters. Diane Warren, ladies and gentlemen. Diane Warren does it again, and this time she does it for a movie about herself. Diane Warren, Relentless. Music and lyric by Diane Warren. She has done it again, folks. Another nomination. And she is
Plus
poised to
8 billion.
become. She is poised to become the greatest loser, I believe, in Oscars history. The most nominations ever without a win. I believe she's going to do it this year. She lost for Mannequin in 87, lost for Up Close and Personal in 96, she lost for Con Air in 97, lost for Armageddon in 98. She probably should have won for I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. If we're being fair to Diane Warren, she probably should have won because I think what won that year? Song for that year went to
What year is that? Sorry, I don't want to.
When You Believe from the Prince of Egypt.
What?
Stephen Schwartz. She lost for Music of the Heart. She lost for Pearl Harbor. She lost for Beyond the Lights. She lost for The Hunting Ground. She took like 13 years off. She lost for Marshall. She lost for RBG. She lost for Breakthrough. She lost for The Life Ahead. She lost for 4 Good Days. And now she's just like,
I don't go fuck.
Make a song for you.
She got honored. She got the
Please.
honorary.
She won an honorary Academy Award, though that is not technically a win. That's considered an honored. Tell It Like a Woman, Flamin' Hot, she didn't win. And then 6 888 in 2024, she did not win. So now she has another nomination, and I want to make sure I'm right on this. I do believe she is. So now she has. Let's double check her. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So she is now, assuming she loses, which
She will.
she's going to. She will be the most nominated person of all time without a win, which in itself is a win. That's beautiful.
Is this not the worst? Like, this is probably the worst chances she will ever have. Like, it is. There's only 2 that would ever have a chance here. This is the worst odds she would probably have. She's plus 1 billion. Like, can you imagine? There would actually be a riot in LA if she won this one over.
You
Golden
can't.
Or.
I mean, this is like when you go to, like, they're not even offering the money line on like a college basketball game. Was like, that's just like, stop. They're like, it's
Like,
not. We're
fucking
not all like
Kentucky
this.
versus
You
like
couldn't even
Lower
bet on
Marion
that
High
anymore.
School. Like, it's insane.
Yes.
We're gonna have Kirk back for the Oscars. He's coming back early March, kind of around the Oscars. I'm excited to talk about that. There's nothing I think Kirk loves more than Diane Warren losing Oscars. It's like he texted me during the nominations because we were just kind of talking during the nominations, and he hit it all caps. Diane Warren, it's the best. It's the best.
Beast.
17 nominations. She's never gonna win. She's got to get to 20, right? Like, she's gotta.
Yeah.
Though something tells me that having to do a song about a movie about yourself is probably the end of the road as well.
Last gas.
I need like a respected filmmaker to just like include her in like a picture. They like Christopher Nolan, hit her up, do a song at the end, Diane Warren's End of the Odyssey song, like it plays over the credits. Come on.
Yes.
The song category is obviously silly. Like the Bruce Springsteen song wasn't nominated for the wrestler because it started after the credits rolled. Like it is like it gets kind of. I would do nothing. I would do everything in my power. I would fund it on Kickstarter if she did Diane Warren 2, made another documentary and just kept. She honestly, there should honestly be a. I mean, I guess that is the point of the documentary. It's like relentless Diane Warren, but there should be one just about the Oscar journey itself. Literally in tears talking. It makes me laugh every fucking time I talk about it. Score. There was one surprise in score. Marty Supreme did not get nominated. I thought this was a pretty gross snub. Begonia had a good score. I think Frankenstein's the one here that just doesn't belong. Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Frankenstein, Begonia. This is Sinner. This is over. Like, if you're nominated against Ludwig Göransson, like, congratulations. You did a nice job. You're not going to win. He's going to win another Oscar in a year which he has the score for The Mandalorian and Grogu again, which, like, no matter how you feel about the Mandalorian, the music is unbelievable. And then The Odyssey. What I mean, like, that is just crazy. He legitimately might get 2 nominations for on the year.
Hey, shout out to Hamnet though, great score. I thought at first that
very
episode
deserving.
I missed it, but I was like, oh shit.
Marty Supreme, a huge bummer though. The score of Marty Supreme is fucking awesome. That sucks.
Do they have something against like synth? Because they did this to Challengers too, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I also think F1, like getting in for Best Picture and all the things that it got in for, and then Hans Zimmer, which I thought the
Blade
F1
Runner?
score.
That's a good point. That's kind of crazy.
Did Blade Runner
Yeah.
49 get it? Actually, I got a bunch of stuff.
And then I think that's mostly it. I think we ran through almost everything. Oh, casting is one though. The thing with casting is we don't really have like a baseline yet for like what they are looking for, what they expect.
Yeah, that makes it fun though.
Yeah, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sinners. The surprise here was The Secret Agent. Sentimental Value was the favorite, though. It was a pretty like loose favorite. Secret Agent sneaks in. So yeah, I'm excited. I think the Best Picture race is going to get interesting. I think it's not as over as people think it is. That could age like milk in a week and a half or 2 weeks. I'm going to read the award schedule just so we have a little baseline here.
This could be a situation. I mean, I feel like we do this every time though. When we have a heavy favorite, is we try to talk ourselves into
For sure.
something else just to make it more fun. But realistically,
So
I feel
this
like
one
battle after
reminds me.
another.
It just reminds me of the Parasite year a lot.
Yeah.
Though again, the only thing with the Parasite year was there was a clear multiple movies that were going to be put up there. Where I think this one is like, I think it's pretty clearly 2 that are going to be at people's 1 and 2. So the nominations were today. We were recording this January 22nd. BAFTA nominations announced in 5 days on January 27th. The DGA Awards, directors, February 7th. That is where we should essentially see the final lock on PTA. BAFTA, February 22nd. February 26th to March 5th is the Oscar voting window, by the way. So you get 2 weeks or so. PGA Awards, so producers, February 28th. March 1st, the SAG Awards, and then the Oscars on March 15th. My 35th birthday, I get the Oscars and Selection Sunday. It's one of the great alignments of the planets. Doesn't get any better than that. Seeing brackets in the Oscars. So
Those are 2 things, yeah.
I'm very, very excited. I
That's
think
actually.
I think what you said, Gooch, earlier too, is I think you have a lot of big names nominated this year, which I think is always great. Always cool to see.
It is funny
I
you
think the
bring up
Chalamet
Selection
moment's gonna be
Sunday, by
big.
the way.
Say it again?
Because
Yeah.
it's funny you bring up Selection Sunday because this morning I'm watching with my girlfriend, and every year I forget how fucking terrible of a production the nominations announcement is. Like when they put it, how quickly they go through it, like just the formatting of it, terrible. I was like, they need to do this like Selection Sunday. Like that would be.
So I actually,
great.
you want to know one spot I don't love what they do is director. I almost they typically, so they do it by name for people. obviously. It's all alphabetical. So, like, for example, you know when certain people are in or certain people are out. You know it, like Best Picture, when they said Begonia, I was like, here we go. If F1's getting it, it's next. And then they said it, you're like, oh, shit. Supporting actress, you knew right away Ariana Grande was out.
Mhm.
Director, though, they do it by movie. So when they didn't say Ryan Coogler first, I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. I'm like, whoa. I was like, what just happened? But then I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, it's by movie title. It like threw me off. I was like, no. I'm like, could you fucking imagine if he didn't get nominated for best actor? But then that's why. So that's one of those ones where it's like, why do it like that?
I just saw a good tweet from Nope Signal. He said, because No Other Choice got no nominations, Park Chan-wook now has to kill the other nominees until he gets a nomination.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that is. But it seems like it's playing really well with audiences.
Yeah,
so
which I guess that's what matters, right?
And this could be a boon for No Other Choice. It's going to be one of the most talked about snubs. I'm sure that'll encourage people to go check it out.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm silver linings. They need to not just do it like Selection Sunday. They need to let like the NFL come in and just clean up all their scheduling. Like this is a fucking
bad.
mess. This is terrible. I don't know.
8:30 a.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. Pacific.
Well, what makes no sense, and
2-second show.
And you know this if you're a diehard like streaming service like show person, like if you love something that comes out, you know, or even for us, like if you're someone who reviews movies or has to go see screeners and you have embargoes, it's typically favored to the West Coast. But for some reason, the Oscar nominations, it's 5:30 in the morning over there. I know they're doing it for the morning shows. Like I know that's like part of it.
The night before.
Yeah, it's still bizarre though. Everything in Hollywood is based on Pacific time, except for this one thing. it's the one thing that is not based around the way. It's weird. It's very strange.
Yeah, not a fan.
Very odd. Yeah, the Oscars has been later and later. Oftentimes it's pushed back due to the Olympics, but that hasn't really mattered because like they pushed it back. So I don't know why it was pushed back again, because it wasn't. If it would have been early March like it was last year, it wouldn't have overlapped with the Olympics. So I don't really understand that. But yeah, it is later. It's a ways out. It's well over a month and a half away. So that's it. Any other thought? I think when you my big takeaway of what we all just kind of talked about here, I think Gooch, I think you said the thing that sticks out the most to me is that the blockbuster that got nominated is the original blockbuster. It's an original movie.
Mm-hmm. It got a full theatrical window. Like they're rewarding a movie that did it right.
Had a big theatrical window from a streaming service, from Apple, from like. That's crazy. That kept it in theaters for a long ass time. That made it an event. That did not put it on streaming right away. Like I think that is like as big. And like Wicked, very glossy looking. Avatar, obviously very like visual effects heavy, though to a degree that's unbelievable, obviously. And there's visual effects in F1 too, but it's like a lot of like it's the effects. The in-camera stuff they did, creating cameras and rigs, and like what Kaczynski did. I hope it's a good. We'll see. It may mean nothing, but like you said, Gooch, I hope it's kind of a good little like, hey, look at this. Look what happened here. Take after this.
You know what I just saw? Another movie I would knock off for cinematography. Get rid of Frankenstein. That in 28 years later from last year. Because I mean, the shots they did with the iPhone shit was batshit crazy. I mean, I like that.
Yeah.
Also, then
I'm surprised. Boyle is very beloved. That is actually that's a good
just
point.
released in what, March?
Yeah, May, I think, or May, right? Yeah, early summer.
It's crazy that like again, I know I did mine a little later, but a lot of people released their top lists, their videos, like right around like even like David Ehrlich does his very like beloved like montage video. The fact that 28 years later is in that, and the sequel's just released before that video came, it is pretty nuts. Like it's like the sequel's already out. So yeah, I think that's it. Anything else? Anything else to mention? Shout out Diane Warren. Congratulations.
Shout outs. You poor lady.
17, baby. You did it again, Diane.
To the people listening,
we'll
be
talk about...
normal. Be normal. I would just say to the people, like, don't get angry online about this. Like, it's just not worth it. ever.
Except for
No.
No Other Choice. Get mad about
It's
that.
fun to
There we
like
go.
be happy when something wins and gets nominated, but like don't get angry about the snubs because that's just like not worth your time.
Brazilians looking up from stuffing the ballot box, being like, "Shut up!" and just keep on stuffing that ballot box for secret agent.
They would like unironically No Other Choice candidates so that Wagner Moura would win. Like I think they might actually kill people to get them in.
Oh yeah.
He's I don't think he's gonna win, but I will say there's the Brazilians, man. They fucking promote. They promote award nominations. They're different. They're built different in that sense. On the podcast this next week, we will. We're not going to go too in depth, but we will because not everyone's going to watch this. But we'll do a kind of a quick like snubs thoughts. Klemmer will give his thoughts. We'll talk about all time snubs as well. So that's it. Kenjac, Gooch. I'm Jeff D. Lowe. We'll see you next time, folks.